Something known as splitting and joining. What are we doing with splitting and joining? We are going to split. Let's say if we want to see, let's run this data frame to first. Let's run this data frame to first. Yeah. Now let's say if there are emails, okay, elise@example.com, bob@sample, charlie@test.com in the emails column. Let's say if you want to split two things separately, let's say Alice, the name we need to split and the domain we need to split. How can we do that? Let's say we need to use a simple, there is a operation, there is a function in split which is nothing but dot split. What it tries to, it tries to check the column, each and every row in the column, and tries to see if there is a at the rate present, and based on this at the rate it is going to split it. Now let me run this thing and let me run the df. Let me show this data frame. Now what it is doing here, it is going to split username and domain. How it is going to split? By default, whenever it is splitting a specific word or a specific row, in this case alice@example.com, in this row, what it is doing, it is trying to split, it is trying to split based on at the rate, okay, based on at the rate, and it is separating Alice and it is separating example.com. Whereas you can see here, it is separating Alice and it is separating example.com. Name, username and domain, it is separating. After separating, it is putting by default in a list. So that is how this dot split works. Now look at this bob@sample.org. You can see that at the rate, right? Now by default, this string function tries to split based on at the rate again, and it tries to check at the rate. If it is at the rate present, then sample.org will be separated and Bob will be separated. Similarly, Charlie will be separated, test.com will be separated. So that is how we can split strings. If we have strings in each and every row, and if we want to separate it based on a specific character or a letter, then we can separate it using these things. Let's say if we want to separate it based on E, let's say, okay, let's say if you want to do it with E. Now let's see what it tries to see. It tries to check if it is E present. See, if it is E present, right? Based on this E, it is going to split the previous section of E, which is ALIC, and after section of C, which is at the rate. Now again, it saw another E here. Now, when it see another E, it is going to divide the previous section separately and the next section separately until XL. After that, it have seen E again. Then it is going to separate the previous section again and the next section again. So that is how it is going to split based on the letter which you are going to give. Whatever letter you are going to give, based on that letter, it will try to check how many times that letter is repeating. If it is repeating thrice, then for all the 3 times it is going to repeat, it is going to separate you with the previous section and the next section of it, like how we can see this in this row. So that is how the dot split function works of the strings. Now let's see another example here. Now let me put that thing here itself. Now what are we going to see here? We are going to check in the username in these emails if you are splitting with at the rate dot string of 0. Now let's see what it is 0. Sorry, what it shows. What is this username? Where is this username? Yeah. Now what it tries to do, it is trying to check this emails column and it is trying to split based on this. Okay, based on this, and you are going to return only the first section of the string. What is the first section of the string here? What's the first section of the string here? Alice. Okay, this is first section of string. Okay, now yeah, for that example, let's say we'll put at the rate itself so that you can understand easily, because we modified here accordingly. Yeah, now if you run this thing again, you can see, first of all, the split operation happens with at the rate using this Alice separately and this domain separately, Bob separately and sample.org separately. Now, after this, we are only considering string of 0. What is the first section of the string here? Alice. That is why you can consider only Alice. Now, after that, let's say if you want to check if you are splitting with at the rate, and then if you are only accessing the first section of the string, how can you access only the first section of the string? What is the first section? That is nothing but the first column. I mean to say the second first index position. This is 0th index position. This is first index position. Look at this. Yeah, this is splitting based on this at the rate, and then it is only taking the first index position. What is the first index position after splitting? This is 0th index position and this is first index position after splitting. Now, this is the first index position. That's what we can see in the domain column. Okay. And again, here in the second row, this is the first index position. This is the 0th index position. 0th, I mean to say, yeah, first index position. Similarly, yes. So that is how we are going to separate things based on this separate characters, based on the letters which we have, and then we are going to check it.